For those who are confused, I lost my avatar due to me switching over to a PlayStation 5 and then subsequently losing my avatar, so that thing's gonna have to do for now. I made a video back in 2021 where I said goodbye to that year, where I outlined my top 5 games of that year. I've decided to bring that back and do a goodbye 2023 and then sort of talk about the top 5 games. However, I've also decided to do something differently this time. I'm going to do my honourable mentions now. So, without further ado, these are my honourable mentions of 2023. I'm not really going to talk about these games a whole lot, just kind of explain why they're not on this list. The first one is The Finals. Sadly, the game has only recently come out, so there are other things to include on this list instead of it. It's a really fun shooter and I hope it does really well. Secondly, 2 Point Campus, a game, yet again, I've really enjoyed playing. It's just definitely more of just a chill game and not so much a big favourite game of the year. The next one was Heroes of Hammerwatch, a game I played very early on in the year. I actually really did enjoy it, I've just not gone back to it. And Metal Hellsinger, a game which I thoroughly enjoyed, but when you see the rest of the games on this list, you'll probably see that it was just off being included. So, let's get into the actual top 5. I just want to clarify that this list is my own list. No one has influenced this. This is my top 5 games. These are not in like a first place, second place, third place. They are just 5 games that I have really enjoyed this year.
What up, G? What? Yeah.
Number 5 on my list is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. If you are a big, massive fan of the Jet Set Radio series, then this is definitely one to play before the next game comes out. It's very nostalgic for those people. This has been very much on my list for a long time when they first announced it, and when it came out I didn't play anything else for quite some time. It has just been a great game to sort of chill out and just sit down and play. There's not really a lot in the ways of stress with this game, so you kind of just go into it and you very much get in this chilled mindset and you just keep playing it and playing it and playing it. It's a game that offers a lot of variation in terms of how you play, like which characters you can play as, or better yet, which style you can play as. BMXing, roller skates, even skateboarding is an option. So it's very much a game for those people who enjoy chill games, but at the same time who have missed Jet Set Radio for quite some time. I actually can't wait for the next one, so let's hope it lives up to the hype. If the names John St. John, Zach Ward, Corey Cruz, and Rick Hunter bring any bells to you, then you know what series I'm about to talk about. Well, we're only going to be talking about one of these games, and that's Postal Brain Damaged. If there's one thing I haven't quite understood about Postal Brain Damaged, it's the story. I mean, there's so many possibilities of what this story could be about.
The fuck? Get out of here, you Rod Serling wannabe. This is my dream. So, listen up. As I said, this is my dream. Like, you will encounter things so fucked up that the current global situation will sound perfectly sane in comparison. Once you see this shit, there's no coming back. And it all started with a TV. Yeah, I'm a simple man. I hear about that one kooky punch-drunk German director guy's best video games movie marathon, and I want to see it. Like, in the name of the kink instant classic, House of Death. Fuck yeah. Fart cries? Boom. Headshot. But... fuck. There's something really, really wrong here. I wake up in a suburb of all places, like it's some shitty nightmare. A neighborhood full of trigger-happy retired policemen, saggy middle-aged soccer moms, and really angry, leg-biting, ass-munching pet pooches. Oh, and my TV isn't working. And that, my dear friend, is only the beginning. So, this is my story.
Well, as the dude said, this is his story. But this story is basically a super over-the-top first-person shooter, very reminiscent of things like Doom, of the old Duke Nukem games. If those are sort of your style instead of the more traditional Postal games, then you'll really enjoy this game. I know I have been, and I've only really scratched the surface, and there's still a lot to explore with this game. It's insane. Let's step away from the super fast-paced games that were Bomb Rush and Postal and take a look at a game that takes things a little slower. Wild Hearts is Monster Hunter crossed with the two Kaiden series. To a lot of people, that's a very concerning idea. But if you are more into Monster Hunter Rise instead of World, then it's very similar on that perspective. I myself have not played Rise, and I am meaning to, but until then, Wild Hearts will probably be the game I play instead. Wild Hearts also does a lot of things very differently to the Monster Hunter series, and I think that's why a lot of people were very skeptical about it at first. It does still have like a very dedicated following, but obviously there are still the die-hard Capcom Monster Hunter fans out there who look at a game like this and go, well, get your own thing. Aside from the sort of obvious similarities to the Monster Hunter series, Wild Hearts does have its own sort of personality / image. The weapons are different, the mechanic is very different, the building your own camp as well as building zip lines to get around the map easier. That is all a Wild Hearts thing, that was never influenced by Monster Hunter. I will say, I think I prefer the weapons in Wild Hearts because of how different they are. It's a very strange feeling to be able to sit there and say, well, is it on par with Monster Hunter? And me sitting here going, well, I actually prefer it. I will say, I have not played Monster Hunter Rise, but I am meaning to, and that may change my opinion. But until then, I will be playing Wild Hearts. Remnant 2. A lot of people were expecting this game to be very much a sleeper game of the year, like people were expecting it not to be as good as it was, but fans of the series were blown away by how good the game actually was and how just of a huge thing it became, that it opened doors to new players. If you are someone who perhaps was eyeing this game up and weren't sure about it, I strongly suggest Remnant 2 because it's a lot easier to get into. The game initially allows you to pick a class, which in the first game wasn't a thing. You had to build your class. But the second game literally starts you off by saying, look, here's your base ground, do what you want with it. The rest of these things will be unlockable at some point in the game. My favourite thing about Remnant 2 it still goes down as just the sheer accessibility of the game. Like, if you want to be this big, heavy, melee-orientated character, there's a class that allows you to do that. If you want to be the critical, striking, sort of rogue type, you can still do that. And there are medics, and there are a ton of secret classes in the game that once you unlock, you can start the game again and start as that class, which then has its own set of armor, own set of gear, and it allows you to play the game multiple times in different ways and still uncover new stuff. Lies of P is my actual #1 game of 2023, just to reiterate. This is my 11th attempt at making this ending section to this video, so bear with me, because I keep muttering spoilers and then rampaging on about why Lies of P is amazing. So I have one negative point, and that is that the game is a very linear story. It is very much, it just sort of pushes you through without any exploration. A bit of a shame, but apart from that, it's still a great game. So on to some of the good points. The customization of the weapons is I believe, a unique thing to Lies of P. I don't think it's been done by From Software or anyone else. The story is amazing. It's a fantastic story. The characters are amazing. The setting and the aesthetic of Krat is... oh, it's great. It's great. Boss fights are really satisfying, by the way. They are a little tricky, but they generally are just fantastic. If you're wondering why I'm having to be very bullet pointy, it's because I know at least 2 people who are playing Lies of P, and I don't want to spoil anything regarding the game. Hence the multiple attempts. I think that pretty much summarizes actually boss fights, characters, weapons. Yeah, everything about this game just works. It's a little bit tricky to get into. If you are a Bloodborne player, you'll probably pick this up very, very quickly. But to me, I went straight in. I played the demo like 10 times, maybe 12, and I just finished it continuously until the game came out. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this list. That was my games of 2023, and here's to another great year of games. Apart from GTA 6. Yeah, that's not till 2025, so you might see that in 2 years' time. Apart from that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and just remember, this is my list. This isn't influenced by other people, and I will hopefully see you in whatever I decide to make next. And yes, I'm aware that really should be YouTubers Life Part 2, so bear with me, I have been busy. With that being said, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in whatever I decide to make next. So until then, I'll see you around, guys, and have a happy New Year.